Hi, I'm Pat Croce, and welcome to ACS Healed Spotlight. That's right, we're starting with some spotlights for your entertaining pleasure and great informative buzz that you can use in everyday life, whether you have been touched by cancer or touched by someone who's been touched by cancer. Listen, because I guarantee you'll be able to use these tips, especially from our first guest, Dr. Jeanie Subach. Come on, Jeanie.
Hey Pat, how are you?
I love having Dr. Jeanie Subach on. Dr. Subach is a professor of nutrition at Westchester University, and I've worked with Jeanie over the past 30 years. She was the nutritionist for the Philadelphia 76ers, the Philadelphia Flyers. I know also the Eagles, but more importantly, for me. Jeanie, welcome. And Jeanie, we don't have a lot of time, so I want to get right down to it. What information would you give to our gathering participants the impact on nutrition on their lives when diagnosed with cancer?
So Pat, we know that nutrition is so important. We know that when we eat well, we feel good. You go to a fast food restaurant, eat a lot of high fat food, you don't feel good. But when you eat foods that are high in water, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, you feel incredible. So we want to tell our cancer patients that you do have to nourish your body. Your body is going through so many incredible changes, and you need to give them the nutrients that the body requires to help you heal. So the big thing is you have to eat. And I know that is so hard for some cancer patients going through treatment. So that's when you want to work with the professionals and find foods that are going to work for you, foods that you can stomach, that you can keep down, but foods that you enjoy, and then bring the family all together. Work together in nourishing your body.
So, when you talk about foods that nourish the body at the same time help heal the body, do you have any specific recommendations?
Well, Pat, we like to talk about whole foods, foods that are minimally processed, because number one, we know that minimally processed foods are cancer preventing foods. So we want to prevent it to begin with by eating fruits and vegetables and whole grains, things that don't have a really long label, small list of ingredients, things that are coming from the earth, okay? Things that you will be preparing. So things like in the morning, oatmeal, have a nice oatmeal, some blueberries, some yogurt, lean proteins, your chickens, your fishes. Go with the whole grains, with the whole grain pasta, the brown rice. Enjoy your breads, a whole grain bread rather than the processed white breads. But the thing is, you have to eat it in a form that your body can tolerate and that you will enjoy.
And how do they know if the body tolerates these foods or not?
Well, we've talked about this so many times, Pat, that you know your body. And if you eat something and you get that rumbling in the stomach, you get that indigestion, your body's not going, your body's kind of rejecting it. So foods that you can consume that are not going to make you overly full or stuffed, but are going to satisfy you. And hydrate. We talk about hydration a lot. Many times people, they think they're hungry, but they're just thirsty. They're a little bit dehydrated. So we want to eat foods that are high in water content. And I always go back to the fruits and the vegetables because they're high water content foods.
So I know you're a green, what do you call it? Not a green shake, or
Our ram juice. It's a green drink. Yes.
it's a green drink. So those patients who have been diagnosed with cancer, who really don't feel like eating, don't want to eat, talk a little bit about your green juice, your green drink that you recommend.
Yeah. So what you can do, Pat, if you don't have an appetite, and that is very, very common, many people do better with a liquid meal. So our green drink, it's 100% fruit juice, and it's just a little bit of cherry juice. And then we put a carrot in it, we put a cucumber in it, we put some kale or some spinach in it, and then a banana. So calorically, it's going to give you the calories from that banana and that juice, not so much the vegetables, but nutritionally from that kale or that spinach, from that carrot, from that cucumber. You're getting a lot of really good nutrients that the body needs to heal. You can put a little bit of protein in it. You can put a little bit of collagen protein in it, or you can make your smoothie or green drink with a yogurt base. So you're doing the yogurt base and we're getting that protein. And protein is so important, Pat, in the
Why?
healing.
Why?
Well, I mean, because your cells, when you go through chemotherapy, you're just destroying your body, and you need to build up those muscle tissues and build up those cells. And we know that protein is the building block. Okay, the amino acids are the building blocks of protein, and the proteins are the building block of our cells and our muscles. So that's one thing that a lot of people don't get enough of during their treatment. And that's things like the nutritional beverages that you can buy in the store, the Ensure, the Boost, things like that. But you can make your own using a little bit of yogurt. Again, I mentioned that collagen protein. I mentioned that because it's tasteless, and you can put it in a lot of, soups and stews and regular meals, and you're not going to have that nasty taste.
So, Dr. Subach, we know that protein for strength training for
Yes.
healthy individuals, we need more protein in our diet to help, as you said, break
Yes.
down and build muscle fiber a little stronger. In the
Yes.
healing process after diagnosed with cancer and the treatment plan, is it the same?
Oh, yeah. I mean, because your body, we classify you as you're in a period of trauma, and you've had damage to your body, so you need to get all the tools in there to build that back up, and that is going to be your protein.
And you know that many people are always weight conscious. It's always about weight reduction when we talk about diets. In this instance, you're talking about good caloric needs. You need to ingest the calories.
Oh, yes, you need to inject, just like with the athletes, Pat, a common misconception is that when an athlete would injure, all of a sudden people would say, oh, we got to get the calories away from him because we don't want them to gain the weight. But that couldn't be farther from the truth. You need to get the calories and the nutrients to build back and to heal. And in our cancer patients, that's even more important because we just need to put those nutrients in so that the body can repair itself.
And you're so good at sharing what nutrients are important to the body. Can you please share with us what foods, such as those processed foods, that we should avoid?
Well, you can go on to, the American Cancer Society's website for great resources. The American Institute of Cancer Research has great resources. But the things that everybody has in common is you want to stay away from the processed meats. Yeah, definitely. So the hams and the bolognas and the salamis and, all the processed meats, you want to avoid them. You want to avoid highly processed things. So that's going to be your snack foods, a lot of fried foods. Basically, your fast foods and your processed foods is what you want to stay away from.
So this is really important, everyone. Please listen to Dr. Subach's advice. Stay away from processed foods, fast foods. Now, a salad at a fast food restaurant is not necessarily a fast food.
Oh, you know what? You can find healthy alternatives at fast food establishments because face it, Pat, we live in a high-paced world and we're always on the run. And many times fast food might be your only option. So you can go in and in many places you can get a baked potato. Wonderful. That's a whole food. You can get a salad. Wonderful. That's a whole food. You can get orange juice. That's a whole food. So you can find, whole foods in the fast food establishments. The thing is proper planning. So instead of going through a fast food, why don't you go to a supermarket and, go to the produce aisle? You can do that. You can even go over to the deli department and get some good lean turkey breast, So these are all things that you can do. And that's why it's great to work with a registered dietitian because he or she can give you those tips of how to avoid. You're a planner, Pat. And I'm a planner, and you need to plan your meals. And I always say with our athletes, you would never go to practice or to the gym without your equipment, right? You're never going to go unprepared. We have to have the same concept when it comes to food. When I walk out the door in the morning, people laugh at me. I have my bags because I know if I leave my house at 6:30 in the morning and I'm not getting back until 7 o'clock at night, I have to have healthy foods with me. Or if I don't, I'm going to the vending machines or stopping at a fast food restaurant. And we know that we don't want to do that on a regular basis.
Jeanie, before I let you go, I think of you when I create my salad. I
Yes.
love the multiple colors.
Yes.
Share with us briefly over the next 30 seconds, what colors are we looking for?
So you want to eat as many colors as possible. So as a registered dietitian, I see red, I see lycopene, I see green, I see folate, I see orange, I see vitamin C. So you want to eat as many colors as possible. So that salad, get that green and put a little cabbage and a little carrots and a little cucumbers and a little broccoli and then a little lean protein on it. And you have a complete meal that's going to heal your body.
And I'm going to end Jeanie's salad with a little blueberries on there. Get the blue. Get the blue in your mood. Yes.
Yes.
Dr. Jeanie Subach, thank you for all the times you've joined us over the past year at our ACS gatherings. And anyone, if you'd like to see more of Jeanie, go to acsheal.com or 6abc.com. Dr. Jeanie Subach, thank you.
Great. Thank you, Pat.